Thank you all for coming here today to learn about StreetLight and our mobile resource app for young people and our new mental health resource page. My name is Beth Malik, and I am an attorney with the Chicago Coalition for the Homeless. And I just for a few housekeeping items, this webinar will be recorded and we will send a link to the recording out to all registrants. So if you have folks that were not able to attend today that would find this information useful and interesting, you can please feel free to share the link. We will also be taking questions at the end. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat or the Q&A, and I will get to them as soon as this is over. And I'm trying to keep this to 30 minutes or less. So let's get started. So StreetLight Chicago was launched in 2016, and it's a partnership between the Chicago Coalition for the Homeless, which is the only nonprofit in Illinois dedicated to advocating for public policies that can curb and ultimately end homelessness, and Young Invincibles, which is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization working to expand economic opportunities for young adults and to amplify their voice in political conversations. And YI Advisors, which is the consulting arm of Young Invincibles, who uses insights gained from unique young adult focused campaigns and research to offer a wide range of services to mobilize and engage young adults. And they do, I just want to give a shout out to them for, helping us with all things tech related to StreetLight. So just a quick overview of StreetLight. We really see it as a digital lifeline for unstably housed young people. And it's available both as a mobile phone app on both Apple and Android phones. It's completely free, available in the app stores. And in a web-based format at streetlightchicago.org. And it's a completely free tool that enabled young people and service providers to access timely information about important resources that are available within the city of Chicago and a little bit within the suburbs to help young people who are homelessness or are experiencing homelessness or housing instability. So I want to walk you through a little bit about the history and how StreetLight came to be. So in January 2011, 10 years ago, over 10 years ago now, Chicago funded its first overnight low threshold shelter specifically for young people ages 18 to 24. Up until then, only emergency shelters for adults, basically anyone over 18 were available. And that program was the Crib, which is run by the Night Ministry, and it opened as a 4-month pilot. And within that pilot period, the shelter was forced to turn away young people 336 times in 4 months due to being at or over capacity. And that really illustrated that there was a real need and desire within the city and within the population of unstably housed young people for age-specific, culturally competent resources, specifically for youth. And Chicago really took that into account and started really expanding the resources that it made available to homeless young people. And so in the summer of 2015, with funding, a very generous funding from the VNA Foundation, CCH and Young Invincibles partnered to start researching and developing a mobile app that would be able to connect homeless young people to some of these new health, shelter, and drop-in resources that were specifically for them, that were being launched and coming online within the city of Chicago. And we really took, YI and CCH really took the next 18 months to have many conversations within the community with young people, with youth providers, and with other really important stakeholders to really determine the need and strategy and to really understand what young folks and providers wanted StreetLight to do and wanted StreetLight to look like. It's always been really important to us that young people really see themselves within the app and that it really worked for them. And so we just had lots and lots of conversations questions about what important resources and features it needed to have. And then, again, after a lot of hard work in November 2016, we launched the app. And StreetLight ever since has really been a work in progress. It's never finished. We're constantly it looks a lot different than it did when it first launched, and we're constantly adding and editing and improving the resources and information that it provides and the manner in which it provides it. So and we're going to kind of walk through where we are now and what Streetlight can do for young folks and for providers. And then one of the improvements that we made pretty quickly within about 6 or 7 months in July 2017 was the companion website, streetlightchicago.org. It was created, we got a lot of feedback, especially from professionals, from teachers, that were saying that when they were helping young people navigate resources, it would be helpful to have that information available on a computer, a laptop, a desktop, as opposed to having to pull out your phone. And we also know that a lot of unstably housed young people don't necessarily always have access to a phone. So all the information and services that are available and features that are available on the app are also available on the website. In January 2018, we launched Book a Bed, which allows young people to reserve their shelter beds in advance. We initially launched at the crib. We'll talk more about that later in the presentation. And then in March 2019, we launched our crisis text line, which helps connect young people immediately to a trained counselor. And again, we're going to talk about that more when we talk about our new mental health page. So I kind of wanted to go over a little bit right now, just the key features that Streetlight contains. So both the app and the website have the ability to connect young people to emergency services, and this is especially true of the app. Through the app, young people can call or get connected to the National Runaway Safe Line, the Suicide Prevention Hotline, the Rape Crisis Hotline, and the Chicago Domestic Violence Hotline. And again, these emergency resources are also available on the website. It contains a wealth of information about resources that young people may find important or helpful, especially unstably housed young people. Healthcare services, drop-in centers, food pantries. It also contains information on legal aid programs, educational resources, both K through 12, and higher education resources, employment, supportive employment information, information on domestic violence, on getting connected to public benefits, on lockers, so just heating and cooling centers. So just a lot of really important resources and information. And we're kind of always trying to listen to young people and listen to the community and add information that young people feel like they need and would be helpful to them. Both the app and the website have the Book a Bed platform on it, which allows young people to book a bed in advance using their name and an email address. Right now, it is only available at the crib, the Night Ministry's overnight emergency shelter. But off and on throughout the last few years, it has been available at other shelters throughout the city. And, we're kind of always helping to expand that and add more. Another really great feature about Streetlight is its ability to send push notifications. And we've done this a lot over the years regarding weather emergencies, program closing, and other important sort of up-to-date news and information that's vital to this population of young folks. We've used it especially a lot during COVID times when programs opening and closing and hours were shifting, and it was really important to get information to young it, build it, and had it grow over the years. We really wanted to talk to young folks about what was important to them in terms of what they wanted to see in the app, because we understand that youth have different help seeking mechanisms than adults. And it was really important that the app really only feature resources that were tested, trusted, and vetted by unstably housed young people. And that's really so. What you'll find when you look at Streetlight is it's not every shelter, it's not every health center, it's not every resource within the city of Chicago, but it's the ones that young people and the providers and members of this community have told us that they feel are the best and the most safe and the most accessible for them. The resources, and again, information is very customized and very specific to this population. We also heard from young folks that their anonymity and confidentiality and their personal information was really important to them. So there's no accounts or logins or personal information that we collect from Streetlight. Once you open the website or open the app, it is just free to use. It's very low threshold and very easy to use and user friendly. And we are trying to always keep that in mind when we're adding new features or adding new information. We really thought it was most important to put the critical resources that address basic needs up front. So when you visit the app or the website, the map-based resources, the first thing that you'll see when you pop up are the sort of most important basic needs resources: food, shelter, drop-in centers, housing intake resources. And we're also, now including our mental health page up there as well. And we also know that it's very important that young people need accurate and up-to-date information about these resources, about hours and services and locations. So we work very hard to keep that information as up-to-date as possible, so that young people know that they can go to the app and the information that there is provided is correct. And providers have the opportunity through Streetlight to relay to large numbers of young people via push notifications. The app has been downloaded on phones, I think, over 5,000 times. So they can relay to a large number of people changes in program location, hours, or services, and it allows for emergency updating, which is really great. So again, I just wanted to really quickly go over the sort of key map-based features. These, what we feel like, are the critical upfront basic needs resources that we provide: information for drop-in centers. Those are the coordinated entry access points. And now also included in that bar on the top of the app will be our mental health resource page as well. And if within each program listing, when you click on it on the app or the website, we try to provide as much comprehensive information as possible to make sure that young people and the professionals working with them or the adults working with them have as much information as they need to make an educated decision about whether that service and that program or that resource is right for them. So we include a lot more than just hours and location or directions. We also include information about whether children are allowed, whether they, if it's a drop-in, whether they have access to showers, to laundry, whether there's any medical services or mental health services provided on site, whether there's food, case management provided. We try to provide just a really comprehensive list of the services that are provided at that location and the best way for young people to access those services. I wanted to switch over and kind of talk about Book-a-Bed, which is available on both the app and the website. On the app, it's on the bottom menu bar. You'll just see Book-a-Bed, and young people can click on it, and it gives them a choice of the programs that have Book-a-Bed available now. This slide is a little old right now. We only have it available at the crib, but young people can then click on the shelter that they want and see the process for booking their bed in advance. It's been a really successful tool. Since January 2018, we've had over 2,600 beds booked via Book a Bed. Again, right now we only have beds online available for the crib run by the night ministry, but hopefully we can work with more of our shelter provider colleagues to get more of those beds available online for young people, because it is a really helpful tool. So now I wanted to talk about our new mental health page, which we're really excited about. We know mental health resources are very important for young people. And we also understand that it can be really challenging for unstably housed young people to connect with quality mental health providers and mental health resources. And we really wanted to take some time to think about how we could use StreetLight, both the app and the website, to take on some of those challenges and bridge some of those gaps and help young people get connected to, providers that they trust, quality providers that can provide them with the services and supports that they need. Um, and so in putting this resource together, and I do want to say that it is a work in progress. It is brand new. So we're still adding some content to the page. We're still making some improvements. So please bear with us. But we had conversations with about 20 young people, and then some youth providers about what the needs were, what some of the trusted mental health providers were within the communities, what some of the challenges and barriers were to accessing mental health resources, and what information they really wanted to know before selecting a provider. And that's kind of where we gathered all this information, and that's where we started in terms of putting together this curated list of resources for young people. Again, with the caveat that it is a work in progress, as is all the information provided on StreetLight, and we're hoping to do more refining of it in the next few weeks and months. But there's three main sections, and I'm going to do a quick demo in a moment, but there's a section that will connect young people immediately to the crisis text line, as I mentioned. We again have another section that can bring young people to map-based resources. Mental health providers within the city of Chicago and the suburbs, and then a list of shelters and drop-in centers that really can help connect young people to mental health services, either on site. There are a few that provide them on site, or through referrals that they can get directly from that provider. Again, this page is comprised of mental health resources that have been edited and curated by unstably housed young people and youth providers. So it is not a comprehensive list of all the mental health providers within the city, but it is the ones that this community felt like were the most important to lift up to young people through the StreetLight app. And the programs that we have listed are the ones that are currently taking patients or referrals. You might notice there are a few big providers that aren't listed here right now, and there's some that are just not taking referrals right now. So we just don't have them listed, but as soon as they're open for referrals, we will be adding them. So again, this is kind of always a work in progress. And again, it was really important not to just list the programs and the phone numbers, but to include as much information as possible. We know that selecting mental health service or mental health provider is important and a big decision for young people. So we wanted to give folks as much information as possible in order for them to make in order for them to have as much information to make the right decision about where they might want to seek support. So, they have the name of the program and the location, obviously, and the hours and the phone number and the website, but also, a description of the program and the services offered. The best way of connecting for an appointment, what the client may need to bring for their first appointment, the wait times, the languages offered. We're going to be shortly putting up some telehealth information. So if a young person can seek services over the phone or over Zoom, whether they take walk-ins, whether Medicaid is accepted or there's a sliding scale payment plan. We're hoping to eventually also include information on managed care plans in the future as we get more of that information, whether they are LGBT inclusive. So just as much information as we can for young people to be able to make an educated decision about their provider. So actually right now I'm going to switch over to show you the page. So if you just bear with me for 1 second, I'm just going to bring you here to, so let me bring you right now back to the, this is our landing page for StreetLight. So when you go to the website, this is what StreetLight looks like. And these are all of our map-based resources. But right now, up here where it says not feeling well, although that will be renamed to say mental health help. That is where you click to access our mental health page. And this is what the mental health landing page looks like. And if you scroll down, it gives you some choices for young people. If they click on, I want to talk to somebody immediately, this will connect you. And again, this is all available on the app as well. It just will look a little bit different on the app-based format, or the app-based format. So this will connect young people to the crisis text line. They can either get connected to the crisis text line website, or if they'd like, they can use their mobile phone and text home to 741-741, and they will, a live trained counselor, the volunteer counselor, crisis counselor will text and respond from a secure online platform and connect with the young person. And that service is free or confidential. And again, we also have the suicide prevention hotline and chat line available here as well. Find somebody who can help is the map-based resource section for the mental health providers. So it looks a lot like the other map-based sections. And again, we're still kind of working out some of the tech kinks, but this is a list of all of the programs that we have featured. And again, this is sort of a curated list after speaking to a lot of young people and providers. And you can just, they can either find a program by clicking on a link here, or you can click on here and be provided, this is alternatives, be provided with a description, hours, the approximate wait time to meet with a counselor, phone number, website, and then just some different information. Again, we're going to be adding a little bit more about languages, about teletherapy options. We have the age restrictions here as well. So just some basic information for them to make a decision about providers. And again, location is here, but, and these are all currently providers taking referrals. There will be others added in the future when they open up. And again, you can either find one on the map or scroll through this list of providers. And so that is here under find someone who can help. Find a drop-in or shelter provider is a list of drop-in and shelter providers. I need to add a few more here that, you know, like the Broadway Youth Center that provides some, can provide referrals, but you know, might also be able to provide some services right on site while they're getting other basic needs met. And then share my story. We would also like to learn, again, you know, StreetLight is always a work in progress, and getting as much input and feedback from members of our community. Oh, here it is, mental health help. Getting as much information from members of our community would be really helps us make sure that the page is and the tool is as helpful as it can be. So if young people do get connected to programs and services through the app and find it helpful, it would be great to share their stories. They can do so, you know, confidentially and anonymously through this Story Hub link. So that's basically the page and the services that are the mental health services. Again, we're kind of working to refine it, but you know, it's, you know, we wanted to just provide a list of, you know, programs that were open and available and, you know, accessible to unstably housed young people within Chicago. So I'm going to go back right now to the webinar here. Give me a moment. Um, and there are also actually some programs in the suburbs as well. It's not a comprehensive list from the suburbs, but we do have some listed there. Here we go. So again, we're always trying to make StreetLight better, whether it's in the mental health, whether it's our mental health resource page, which is brand new, our drop-in page, our shelter page, anything about it. We're always trying to make it better, more user-friendly for young people and for providers. And so if there's any, as you look at it and as you check it out, and we really encourage you to do so, if there's any important mental health resources that you know are good for young people that we're missing, please let us know so we can add them. Because like I said, it's always a work in progress. We're always trying to make it better. If there's anything else about each provider that young people might want to know, please let us know. Again, we try to include as much helpful information as possible, but if we're missing something, we definitely want to know about it. And if there's anything we've left out or that we should add, just you can email me. Again, my name is Beth Malik and my email is beth@chicagohomeless.org. You can email me for any content updates related to StreetLight. So if it's related to the mental health page, if you use StreetLight and you've noticed that we should be featuring something on drop-ins or shelters or food pantries or really anywhere, if you have a program that you want to put on StreetLight, please let us know. Please reach out to me and we're happy to work with you. We want this to be a useful tool for young people as well as providers. And, you know, StreetLight is only useful if young people know about it. So it would be also great if you could spread the word about the tool in general, about the website and the app, either through your organization's, your personal or your organization's social media. We're happy to send you a packet of images and things that you can use to post about StreetLight. We have lots of palm cards and posters if you want to put them up at your programs or put them out for young people. And again, we're always happy to help get the word out about your programs or some emergency or exciting changes through push notifications on StreetLight. And if you want to send a push notification, you can email me as well, beth@chicagohomeless.org. I send those out. So thank you all. I'm gonna just put up my email again. And I think we can go to questions now if anybody has any.
Beth, the only question so far was if people can have access to the PowerPoint.
Yes.
And will that be sent out with an email to all participants?
I believe so, and I'm sure we can do that. So yes.
That was the only question that came through.
All right, well, thank you all so much for your time. I really hope that you go and check out StreetLight and check out the mental health resources. And, you know, please let us know how we can make it better for the young people in your programs and for you as providers. So again, thank you so much for your time.